Welcome back, my friends, for another fun reloading video. Today is sort of a first impressions, half-assed review of the Frankford Arsenal Platinum Series Case Prep Center. I saw this the other day on sale at Midway, and I don't really know what on sale is in these stupid times we're dealing with, but it was roughly $95. So I was like, dang girl, I'm gonna be prepping me some brass. And I was originally looking at the Case Prep and Trim Center they have, which has a little shoulder manipulated measuring device where you can, trim all your brass without having to get this little attachment here. But I saved $60 and went with just the Prep Center, and I got this for about $6 or $7, the 8/32 thread cutter adapter from Lee here. That's part number 90468, and I didn't even know this was an option, actually. A couple months ago, I was watching some videos on Case Prep and how people were trimming, and I saw Stewart County Ballistics. He had his Lyman Center. It's similar to this, but it's got 5 turrets you can set up, and he had this on one of his, and I was like, what, you can trim? What? That's incredible. So ever since then, I've kind of been watching what's on sale or whatnot. The Hornady Case Prep Duo, that would work, but it was like $70, I think. Their Case Prep Trio was like $160 or something. Completely ridiculous when it was probably $80 this time last year. And then Hornady has like a super expensive $500 crazy unit. The Lyman unit was maybe $150, I think. And then RCBS also has a really nice unit, the Brass Boss, I believe, and that's a couple $100 as well. So me, being the cheap ass, I went with the $100 unit, and I've always had good luck and heard great things about Frankford Arsenal, so I had absolutely no reserves when I was thinking about this purchase. I spent a couple hours on it just the other day when it came in, and processed a couple hundred pieces of 300 blackout here, and aside from me needing to adjust my jig when I'm chopping them down, this device has been working just great. Kind of hard to tell the depth from here, but that's about a 2-inch deep pile of shavings that came from those couple hundred pieces of 300 blackout. So yeah, I'm going to work on getting that jig a little closer and not have to chop 8 miles off the neck. But anyways, the Frankfurt Arsenal here was able to power through, and that's only my fault that I had so much to cut off there. But today, I've got about 600 pieces of 556 Lake City brass I picked up a couple weeks ago. These have all been dry tumbled from the range, so they're, clean, no debris or anything. I went ahead and full length sized them, and then here on our first station, I've already reamed out all the primer pockets, and that's all the material that came out of over 600 cases. I actually started with this chamfer tool that came with the Frankfurt Arsenal, and as you can tell, it's a much wider sort of angle, whereas I threw in the Lyman here, which is more of an acute angle, the VLD design, and that works much better for reaming out your primer pockets. And I've talked previously about using this with the multi-tool, so it works great here on the machine. You just turn them on and go at it. Of course, I can't show you here because I just did all 600 of them before I thought about sharing this with you guys. But you just gotta believe, okay? So anyways, all that's left is trimming, chamfering, and then deburring our case mouth. So I'm just getting set up here with the 223 case length gauge from switching over from the 300 black, and you'll see it's got a little bit of a boogie to it. Now, I don't think it's going to affect anything too bad, so I'm going to test a few here and we'll see how they look. So here's our very first 10 cases of 223 I've ever done with the Frankfurt Arsenal Platinum Series Case Prep Center. The ones on the left side here were done with the Lyman VLD chamfer tool, and the ones on the right side were done with the Frankfurt Arsenal and we can see the Frankfurt Arsenal is just barely, a little wider of an angle, whereas this is a little steeper. It doesn't matter to me at all, but in the end, I'm going to take one of them off the machine and have another spot open for something else. So I'll probably go with this one because I can use it dually purposed for both reaming and for chamfering. So let's see how they measure with the little wobble it had. Oh, perfect. We have 15 millimeters. Okay, well, obviously my calipers are a little off. There we go. 1.7485. Beautiful. 1.749. That's pretty damn close. 1.749. Holy moly. Okay, let's try one with the Frankfurt Arsenal tool. 1.748. All right. I'll flip that one over just so I know. Okay. 1.7485. So it seems like the wider one also might take off, like a 10 millionth of an inch or something retarded small. But otherwise, they're not making any difference. The only difference we're seeing here is in how hard I'm pressing while it's trimming. So there you go. These are all perfectly right underneath trim length. I don't think that little wobble with my case gauge is any big deal. And real quick, if you're interested in purchasing one of these, on approximately March 20th at midnight on back order at Mid-South Shooter Supply for $118. And then we'll take a look on Midway where I got mine, $94.99 on sale versus the Mid-South price. There's the Lyman unit. Again, it has 5 stations. It comes with some brushes and all kinds of fun stuff. That's $181. So then here's the Platinum Series Case Prep and Trimming Center I mentioned previously. It's, $75 more. There's the Lyman trimmer, and all it does is only trims. Let's see what other options we have here. Yeah, there's the Case Prep Trio, $130. I misspoke earlier. It's $130. But yeah, some of these prices are ridiculous compared to the value I'm getting out of this machine right here. So there you go. That's my half-assed review / first impression on the Frankfurt Arsenal Case Prep Center. If you made it all the way to the end, thanks for hanging out. So make sure to stay tuned for more videos. There's always other things on the way. We will see you in the next video. Have a good one.